Zungu has been demoted.
Chairperson Rafferty, are you ready?
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Just hold on, let the councillors settle. Thank you, councillors. If you can take your seat, we would like to resume. You can proceed, Chair.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. First and foremost, let me convey our condolences to the families of the deceased. We in crisis mode, and the death toll is still rising. As a result, we met with the Wippery. We spoke to the executive as well. So the third quarterly, the outcome of that is that the third quarterly reports, we'll just read all of them into record and then note them. Secondly, the in-committee item, there is a request that a special council meeting be called for that one, but the other two reports be tabled and we deal with that and then we can adjourn. Thanks, Madam Speaker.
Thank you so much, Chairperson. Can maybe the executive indicate which reports we're going to table today so that we prepare for that? Whip of Council, do you need another 5 minutes?
Madam Speaker, we'll just allow Councillor Masuku from the executive just to indicate to us. It's the request that came from the Wippery. So I think the executive can then respond.
Chairperson Rafferty, I'm willing to give you 5 minutes to, it looks like there is no consensus. I've noted you, Councillor Arnolds, so that we get a clear report, because the report said you've agreed with the whippery, you've agreed with the executives, but it looks to me that there's a bit of a disjoint. Councillor Arnolds, you can raise your point.
Thank you, Speaker. I think, Speaker, what needs to happen here is that the executive, because they look like they are not understanding what happened in the Whooperi. So the executive can speak to the Whooperi, and the Whooperi will inform them what the decision was. The decision is not to depress the report, but the decision is that everybody felt that there was a need for us not to sit. In actual fact, we wanted to say, as leaders and as Whooperi, we don't want to sit today. That was our decision. So maybe the executive needs to quickly sit with the Whooperi and have a discussion quickly, and then we see what we do, because this to and fro is prolonging everything. Can we do that?
Chief Whip, Whip of Council, just listen to me. Can I have your attention? I'm giving you 5 minutes. Can you come back and report how we're going to proceed? You have 5 minutes to clarify what is happening, please. Thank you.
Speaker, make it 10.
10
please.
minutes is fine.
Yeah.
Thank you. So
Whips, can we convene quickly? Quickly. Thank you.
12:30, we'll resume. Thank you. Thank you, councillors. If you can just come inside and sit down. Thank you, councillors. If you can sit down. Morning. Whip of council.
Thank you, Speaker. Greetings, councillors, and to yourself, Speaker. Speaker, we thank you for your time, and we also would like to start by sending our condolences to all the affected families. Indeed, this is a tragedy that no one would have expected. And our engagement with the whips, we've come to a conclusion that this meeting should be adjourned to maybe early next week so that we are able to mourn with those who are mourning today. And it won't make any sense that we are sitting here, we're arguing and fighting against one another while we are sitting over 70 dead bodies. So in short, Speaker, we've agreed with the whips that this meeting should be adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you, Whip of Council. I think it's a prudent thing to do. It's important that we show leadership in this time and also show compassion in this time. I have noted the hand. I will come back to you. If that is what the whippery have decided, I have no...
Okay, Speaker, the suggestion is that maybe we have a special sitting on either Monday or Tuesday.
Okay, we will look at the dates.
Without any catering, but we will advise.
We will advise.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Because I took that hand, do you also want to say something before I conclude?
Thank you, Madam Speaker, through you. I think, we didn't get much done in terms of work today. If we could also maybe just consider donating our lunch to the victims.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you. Not only the victims, even the EMS team has been on site. So everything that is here will go to the site and assist everybody who's there assisting. I had promised before we adjourn that the executive mayor will just give the House a report on where things are so that you understand from him officially dealing with the CM and the EMS and everything else, what is the death toll, what are we dealing with the displaced families, where are they being housed, and also perhaps even the state of those that are in the different hospitals, including in Ekurhuleni, and just to keep the House informed. And I think various statements will be issued as well in due course. He will also tell us when to expect communication from the city in terms of the schedule that they have been working on or are busy with to keep not only the residents informed, but us as well as the leadership of the city informed. Executive Mayor, if you can.
Good afternoon, Speaker. I'd like to acknowledge you. I'd like to acknowledge MMCs, the Chief Whip of Council, the Chair of Chairs, party leaders, fellow councillors, residents in the city of Johannesburg, as well as all the media houses present. Firstly, I would like to extend our condolences to the families who lost loved ones in such a tragic manner. But equally so, I'd like to register with the House that our EMS was the first respondent on the scene. They did what they could under the circumstances to try and contain the situation. Our intergovernmental relations assisted quite a great deal because the MEC of Health was able to allocate a hospital so that all the victims or the casualties could be transported there for immediate attention so that there are no delays. Speaker, the total number of fatalities is at 74 at this present moment. There is still forensics that are conducting investigations, going through the debris and the ashes that have gone that emanated as a result of the fire. It is indeed sad, Madam Speaker, and I appreciate the compassion of councillors to agree that the meeting should be adjourned, because I would assume that councillors, and I'm not referring to political parties here, Speaker, but I'm referring to councillors of this House, would then begin to demonstrate humanity and humanitarian gestures, like our fellow councillors just indicated that we need to make our donation. Speaker, as a city, we need to take a collaborated effort to not only respond to such issues, to understand that the cause of this situation is historical in nature, but for us to be able to find workable solutions to the current situation, it requires a collective effort, and not just with the external stakeholders, but starting from this House, in us demonstrating the unity across all political parties that are represented here. There are ward councillors that come from the area, who know the victims by name, who are very shattered about what had happened. And it's a humble plea from myself to councillors in the city of Johannesburg that this is a tragedy. This is not a platform for us to play a blame game. This is a moment for us to collaborate. As the executive, the resources that need to be marshaled towards the relief that is required, because we have 140 families that are displaced that will be housed. We've allocated stock from Joshko to ensure that each and every one of them is accommodated during this tough time. I don't know where's MMC Transport, but JRA will be transporting the families from the building to the facilities that have been made available. We will, as the executive, give you in writing letters of a technical briefing of what had happened, so that you have a clear understanding, so that you can be able to assess and attain to yourself how then do you, as a councillor, contribute towards the collective effort that is required. We are open to everyone giving their inputs, The city of Johannesburg seems to be responding to quite a number of disasters, and we do not know how many of them await us in the future. But it starts now, Madam Speaker. Our inner city needs our immediate attention. We thought it was a priority until we understand that the pace in which we are moving in, taking into account the fact that we need to be compliant in our approach, is also a difficult process that we need to work around. But we need all hands on deck. We'll be going to the hospitals that the victims have been transported to. But as indicated, we will give you in writing as councillors, out of respect from the executive, the information firsthand before we begin to engage the media, so that you are also able to appraise your constituencies, you are able to appraise and speak to the issue with facts, because that's what we need. This is our city. And in as much as we are faced with these challenges, it remains our city, and it's our responsibility. Madam Speaker, let me end there for now, and thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Executive Mayor. And I think it's important to add, as we were briefed earlier, that of the deceased, 7 were kids that also have lost their lives in this tragedy. And there are private entities, NGOs, that are willing to assist. Of course, displaced people will need anything, supplies from food, sanitary pads, blankets. If you have any organizations or in your capacities you can assist, please do approach us. We're working closely with the Office of the Mayor and the CM as well, and then we can be able as councillors to provide such relief. And there will be also the lighting of candle. It will be communicated to everybody, and I think once we know, it will be important that the councillors that are able to come and join, we go there, pay our respect collectively as the leadership of the city, and pay our condolences also to the family. So those will be communicated. Thank you. We also had a councillor from Action SA who had a heart attack this morning. Please, let's keep them in our prayers. And they have been transported to Mill Park Hospital. So let's remember the councillor. I would not want to mention their name now, but just know if you are interested, you can approach the caucus leader of Action SA and be able to visit them if you so wish and if they allow. Councillors, can we just rise for a final moment of silence before we go? Thank you. And to also our guests and distinguished ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here with us today and for sharing in this time of grief. We appreciate your presence. Thank you. Thank you, councillors. I will then make further announcements on the next council meeting, the special council meeting that will take place. For now, this meeting is adjourned. God bless you. God bless our city. Thank you. Please do not go to the reception for food. It will be collected and delivered at the site. So just go home. Thank you.